Good morning. If you guys are just tuning in, we've been working on building ourselves a custom walk-in cooler. We bought the main shell of it off of Facebook Marketplace and we're turning it into its own little self-contained building. Yesterday we started working on our door. We have the door that we got from the walk-in cooler. It was in really rough shape. We're trying to figure out how to use it because a used walk-in cooler door costs at least $1,000 and a new one is over $2,000. So we started cutting it up and we made a frame for it out of pressure treated 2x4s. We had to rip them down to our right width. And then we had to glue down the bottom because the bottom inside metal was coming undone and the inside of the door foam was cracked. So now that we have a good frame, we're hoping the glue dried overnight. We'll have to clean this and then we're gonna wrap everything with FRP and then we're gonna flip it over, make the door. But we're gonna get the gluing done today so it can dry. And I'm excited to see what it looks like because it already looks a lot better the way it is, believe it or not. Like this door looks so much nicer, which just seems kind of weird to think that. But the cooler is coming out nice. It's a good winter project for us because we're able to work in the workshop and we have heat and we're not outside in the cold and snow, and we really appreciate that. Let's get everything taken apart. We'll see if that bottom stayed glued up, and then we got to cut back our bolts that we put in there. Some of them are sticking through a little bit.
Do you think it's gonna be stuck?
I think it's gonna be stuck because we got some glue here that we used, and that's kind of hard. So I'm thinking it should be stuck down.
You have that screw.
I got a
in there.
screw. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, we'll clean it up, and then I want to fill these little gaps with the window and door grate stuff before we put any FRP on it. I think before we grate stuff it, we should get all of our panels cut and made so we can put them on, trace them, where if we have grate stuff in the gaps, it'll get all over the FRP. So we'll get all of our panels made, then grate stuff it, and then we can put our adhesive on. All right, we want to put the FRP on. We're going to leave it long all the way around, but we want to make sure we have it close. Then we're going to want to leave this like 1/4 of an inch long all the way around, and then we'll trim it off after. Only one area is going to say. Only one side of this has been treated for glue. I'm going to add 1/4 of an inch all the way around on each edge. So that way we make sure we have enough room for the FRP going up on the sides and for the FRP adhesive. And then we can do our final trim once all the glue is dry. And that way too, it also gives us a little bit of wiggle room for when you're putting it down. As soon as it touches, it sticks in place. So if we don't have it perfectly where we want it, we won't be in too much of trouble. Yeah, for this, in this groove, yeah. Okay. These ones we have to go the exact. I ripped down a piece of plywood, the width that we need. These small pieces of FRP cut down to, and I'm going to clamp them on, and then we can use this as our cutting guide. Now we get to make a mess with glue. Told you. Put this right there. I'll clean it off after. The stuff is super thick. I don't know if it's normally this thick or if it's just this thick, or thicker right now this time of the year because it's probably say 60 degrees inside the shop. It's not super warm. So I don't know if it was in the summertime, if this stuff is easier to work with or worse to work with, to be honest with you. It's the consistency of like Fluffernutter. It looks like it and it feels like it. All right, now we get it applied. We can take our trowel, and this is what? A 3/16 trowel. This is what they recommend. What was it? Yep. Let it dry. All right, let's get these gaps filled up. clean up the great stuff. All right, that'll work. I don't know if we're better off having it lower, but.
I mean, for me it would be, but. It feels thicker this time.
Well, it's been sitting in the colder shop.
Are we going all the way to here?
Yes, it's gotta go all the way to the edge. Now comes the fun part.
Yeah, don't get it on your sweatshirt.
Right. Pull, like, keep tension on you, pull back. Yeah, keep.
More?
Nope, that's good.
Am I straight
I need
enough?
to go this way and like that, and then I want to go like. That's as far as we can go right now on this. We gotta let it dry, and we'll be right back. It is the next morning. The adhesive is nice and dry. I got my router here with a flush cut router bit, so we're gonna go around and just trim off the excess FRP. The router made quick work of that, which was nice. So now we can flip it over and get the other side wrapped.
Which way are you going? I was going the opposite of you.
You were.
I think that's how we did it last time. It's the other way.
Bang. Okay. 78 and an eighth. 78 and an eighth. Okay. So we're going to cover the front of the door with tongue and groove pine, and then we're going to outline it with 1x4 trim to make it look like a nice country door. So I have some tongue and groove here. I'm going to cut them all up to length, and then we'll have to rip them down and get the edges nice. I'm gonna rip down our starter piece for 3 1/8 of an inch reveal. That'll put us all of our other boards are symmetrical and will follow on center. Then the last piece we'll have to rip will be 3 1/8 again. So I'm gonna get the first one ripped. We'll put it all together, and then we'll save the last one to rip this one at the very end. We're going to glue and screw all of this down. At least on the edges, we'll put some screws in. This is all gonna get covered up with trim, so I'm not worried about these screws showing because you're never gonna see them. I like that. I know we can screw it in the bottom. I can't screw it in the middle anywhere. So we'll see how that does. We got a bunch of adhesive on it, so it should stick just fine. I'm liking that. There's a gap here, but there's a big dent. So it's coming out good. So that would be like that. And yeah, like so if we put like a pine trim, like edge it, and that's all the doors have, like you edge it, and then we have a center divider. And then that way we can put screws in this, holding this down in the center.
Right.
We decided we're gonna put a center trim board on for the handle, and that way, also by doing that, we can also put a screw in every one of these boards in the center because that'll get covered up by trim. So I'm just gonna mark where center is. And now we know where we can put our screws. These boards are not sitting perfectly on the center of the door. They're bowed a little bit, so by doing this, we'll be able to suck everything down and get a good adhesion between the door and the wood. Can't do that one. That's right where the handle falls, and where the handle is, they have a thick plate of metal.
Oh.
Interesting. Let's see, maybe they got a thick piece of metal all the way across? Nope. It'll work, I just don't know if it'll work with this screw.
I saw it suck down.
It did. And then it's still bowed up there. I wonder, I can do the same thing. I can pre-drill and I can always take the screw out later if it's in our way, and the glue will be dried at that point, because it might be in our way for our handle. Just want to make sure we don't put a screw. We would. That's roughly, that's where the push rod goes. So I can bring my screw in this way a lot more, because the push rod's going to go a hole in the inside, and you'll slam it and you can open the door from the inside. So that's, I'm glad I checked. Let's go right here. That sucks down nicely. All right, so now this end one needs to be ripped down to 2 1/4 inches. want to test fit everything, make sure everything is good. So this is a little long for that side. Let's check it on this side. I like that. I like that. That'll work. I like it. All right, let's see. We'll get this side like this. So let's get this glued up. We'll get the two long ones nailed in place. Then we'll take our clamps off, glue those ones, nail those in place, and then we'll let it dry. We'll put our center one in. It's looking good though. It's not gonna look like a walk-in cooler from the outside. And that's what we want. We want it to look cool. We don't want like a big aluminum box for a walk-in cooler. We want nobody to know what it is. We want it to be nice looking. And I think this is gonna do it.
We want it to look cool and be cool inside.
Right? We'll have to think of something to put on the door. I don't know if we get like a sign made up or something, or I don't know.
Big sign guy.
Big sign guy. Oh, I want to put, no, I'll do that after. I don't need to do that yet. Bam, bam.
Did you have a long night last night? Huh? I'm so tired today. You don't want to talk about it? I don't want to talk about it, guys. Nope. Nope. What do you think you're doing? Sir? Sir?
He's such a troublemaker. All right, you coming over here to give it to me? You're a goofball.
Kind of like you, every time I clean up, it makes them more of a mess.
I'm liking that. We're using the liquid nails because this is going to be outside in the weather. So instead of just glue, this could be getting pounded on with all sorts of weather. I thought just make sure we use something a little bit better for the weather.
Yes, we have been having a ton of people asking if it's going to stay in the shop. It's not. It's mobile. It can go anywhere we want it to, and it's not going to stay inside the shop. That's one of the reasons that we're excited to be building it now, is because it's been taking up space in the shop for almost a year now, and we need that space.
There, that squished it good. Causing trouble make you tired, sir?
Does it make you tired?
It usually does. $29 and an 8. This one we're gonna have to screw in place because there's a bow. So let's put one.
That's it.
The best we gonna get it,
We'll
unfortunately.
have to sand it.
Yeah, we'll just sand it down. It's tight. All right, we're gonna reuse our old hinges because they're actually still pretty nice, and I like how their bolt hole pattern is. These 2 bolts will end up going through the 2x4s that we put in, so they'll be really secure. So we're going to need to mark this so we can have a place for our bolts to go through. So we're going to go like this, this, and then I'm thinking I like this, but I like it at an angle. Maybe a 10-degree angle? Yeah, I think I'll like that. All right, I remade 2 of them. A whisker longer, 1/4 inch longer. I think that'll kinda, yeah, that is gonna look nice. So we would be out to about there. I like that. Maybe I'll just round that over. Yeah, I gotta round that over a little bit, guys. So that one's junk. We're gonna round these over a whisker, just so it doesn't look so sharp. I like that. So that'll end up going like this, down here, and then it'll be like that. These we're gonna paint black, so they'll look so much better, but man, that's gonna look nice. All right, let's get this sanded so we can get it painted. That's heavy hinge. It's got some weight to it. All right, I need to get some hay, and I'm trying to bring 2 bales up at once with the bale grabber. So far, we got them. Let's see if they can both make it all the way up to the cows. Well, the Highland cattle have a fresh bale of hay. Azalea and Cookie will have a fresh bale of hay for the morning. It worked out great, carrying up 2 bales of hay at once with the bale clamp. I'm gonna do that from now on, whether I need 2 bales or not up here. That's my new trick. Worked out perfect. Saves me a lot of time. Whew. Well, those hinges are looking good. We'll let them dry. We got 2 coats on there. I think 2 coats would be more than enough. Those hinges are pretty expensive if you buy them brand new, and these are old. I'm not sure what year this cooler was originally built, but it's fairly old, I can tell. And those hinges are heavy duty and they weigh a lot, so they're gonna do the job. They'll save us some more money, so I like that. This door, I am really happy with how it came out. We'll let the glue finish drying, and then we can continue on with the cooler, but this is where we need to end this video. We'll let everything dry overnight, and we'll see you right back here in the next video. I probably don't say it very much. My name is Al, and my wife's name is Gina. So if you don't know our names now, you do. We upload videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 a.m. We've never missed an upload. So thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. You guys are a huge blessing to us in our homestead. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and we'll see you right back here in the next video. Bye.